I think many foster carers experience this, even when nobody else can see it or is discussing it. But it's the fear about the future. And it's not always dramatic fear, it's not always panic, but it's a quiet kind, the kind that sits in the background. What if this placement ends? What if finances change? What if things actually get harder? What if I can't keep doing this long term? What if everything falls apart? And if we're honest, fostering can sometimes feel very unpredictable. Because so much can change quickly, children, placements, systems, finances, support, even expectations, and even decisions. And after a while, you can begin living emotionally braced for impact. In this episode, I want us to continue deepening this Proverbs 31 journey by looking at one of the most beautiful lines in the chapter. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the days to come. And I think this scripture carries something many foster carers desperately need, and it's just peace about the future. One thing that I've noticed is that many carers are not only carrying everything today, they're emotionally carrying tomorrow too. You're trying to prepare for every possible outcome, every possible problem, every possible crisis, and eventually that anticipation becomes exhausting because fear keeps our nervous system constantly alert. We're always scanning, we're always bracing, we're always expecting something difficult to happen. And I personally think that some carers have lived in that state of anticipation for so long that it now begins to feel normal. And I think this is where Proverbs 31 gives us such a powerful picture. Because this woman, she is prepared, but she is not panicked. And that's an important distinction. She watches over her household. She prepares for winter. She builds wisely. But scripture then goes on to say, she laughs at the days to come. And I don't think that we should be taking that to mean that life is easy or the future is going to be hysterical. I think it means that she's not consumed by fear about the future, but almost has a sense of joy, a sense of happiness about her future. And foster carers, we more often than not need that reminder because preparation, it is wisdom, but constant fear will quietly steal your peace and rob you of your joy. So this truly does matter in fostering because children feel fear in homes. They feel the change in the atmosphere even when no one says it out loud. They feel the tension and the anxiety, but they also feel the emotional instability. So knowing that they feel the fear, it also shows us that they're also going to feel our joy and our happiness and also your peace. And many children in care have already spent years living inside uncertainty. So when homes begin operating from fear too, it becomes very difficult for children to truly settle emotionally. And I think many carers don't realize how much of their own emotional steadiness shapes the atmosphere of their home. And it's not built through perfection, but it is built through steadiness. So let me just say something really important here. Trusting God doesn't mean that we avoid responsibility. It means that we still steward wisely, we still prepare, we still build structure, and we can still think long term. But there's a difference between wisdom and living emotionally consumed by all of the what ifs. Because some carers are mentally living in futures that haven't even happened yet, and over time, that steals your joy from the present moment. So Jesus says in Matthew 6, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. And I think many carers need that permission to stop carrying tomorrow today. It's not here yet, it's not arrived. So one thing that God has really been teaching me through my Bible study is that peace is a part of stewardship too. It's not about avoidance, it's not about denial, but true anchored peace. And I think some carers have become so used to living with that pressure that peace almost feels unfamiliar. Like if we stop worrying, somehow everything will just collapse and fall apart around us. But worry, it doesn't strengthen your household. Wisdom does, peace does, preparation does, steadiness. And this is what I love about the Proverbs 31 woman, is that this woman, she's not described as frantic. She isn't constantly spiraling emotionally. She isn't living in chaos. She's grounded. She's built her household from wisdom. And I think that's the invitation that so many of us have missed. It's not to pretend that difficult seasons won't come, but it's to stop allowing fear to lead the home. Because wisdom prepares you for all seasons of life, but fear, it panics you and it actually leads you into destruction. So if we're being honest here today, I think one of the greatest gifts that foster carers can actually give children is emotional steadiness. It's not perfect answers, it's not perfect outcomes, but it's grounded adults regardless of the situation. Because adults who remain safe emotionally, even when life feels uncertain, they bring a different kind of peace to the home. But that usually begins with us first. So if you've been quietly carrying fear lately, fear about finances, placements, the future, or whether you can keep doing this long term, I want to just remind you today that you don't have to build your household on fear. You can build your home from wisdom, from preparation, from stewardship, and from trusting in God. And maybe today that's the invitation that you receive to stop emotionally living in tomorrow and return to your steadiness today. So as we've been looking at Proverbs 31:25, strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the days to come. And that peace, it's possible for you too. So in the next episode, we're going to continue deepening on this Proverbs 31 journey by exploring what it means to be a woman who actually fears the Lord. Because I think many foster carers, we're just exhausted from performance and quietly long for that deeper peace and identity in God. And if these are conversations that you've been needing lately, conversations around faith, fostering, stewardship, and building sustainable homes, then I'd love to invite you into the Fostering Kingdoms community. Inside the community, we continue these conversations together through support, reflection, prayer, and practical wisdom that's been tailor-made for foster carers. And you can find all of the information in the description below. If this episode has resonated with you today, make sure to give us a like and share this with a fellow foster carer who may need this reminder today. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more conversations around faith, fostering, stewardship, emotion resilience, and building sustainable homes. And if you're not ready to leave, don't worry, we can hang out some more, and I'll catch you on the next episode.